Sup everyone, so today I'll be debunking a Tom versus Andrew video. I know I said I was going to drop it in September, but I got delayed and I got busy and I've been, what's called, I forgot the word. I've been distracted basically, so now I'll be focusing on that. I already did the voicing and the script, but I want to redo it because when I voiced it, I was really tired and well, it's going to be current me, not just 3 months behind me, if you know. So yeah, anyways, it's by a guy called The Gaming Rift. I haven't really spoken, no, I've encountered him before. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything. I just want to I just want to criticize his views, and yeah, that's it. He says some weird things. He doesn't bring context or anything, so I'll just be addressing that. Thank you for your patience, I guess, and I'll see you guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Hey everyone, so this is me in the future when I'm editing the video. So it's 3 months after I recorded the audio, but now I'm actually working on the video. So I just wanted to clarify something. I know I said in the video that the villains in No Way Home, oh, actually, everyone who was brought into the MCU in No Way Home is altered and more powerful because they were given some MCU source which altered them, which is why their appearance is different. They mentioned things that clearly didn't happen in the story, like in TASM 2, Electro is absorbing electricity, but no one refers to it as data. And if I'm being a bit confusing, it's because I don't really have a script. And I just wanted to quickly do this so I can work on the video because 3 months is a long time. So where was I? Yeah, so their appearance is altered, their history is kind of altered a bit. They just say some weird things, and people will just write it off as, what's the word? As contradictions or whatnot, but just support that they're altered, they're not the same. So to use future feats like, let's say Tom taking electricity and then trying to say that Andrew in the past was killed, so it doesn't make sense because they've been altered. They're clearly not the same. It's also the characters in the MCU, like Tom, Doctor Strange, they all have crazy hands, which the characters in TASM and the Raimi trilogy clearly don't have. You don't have any laser feats for Toby. His best speed feats are dodging missiles, which are transonic. Then for Andrew, it's dodging electricity, dodging lightning, which was what's called subrelativistic. And Tom clearly has FTL stuff, potentially MFTL stuff. So yeah, that's basically it.
Obvious thing out of the way now, because I know that a lot of people will be commenting this. Yes, when it comes to lifting strength, Tom has a massive advantage over Andrew. I mean, yes, Andrew can support the weight of cars, his webbing can support the weight of planes, and he's been able to stop a bus with his bare hands. But that's really all you have for Andrew.
In terms of strength, Andrew's already able to hold off Lizard, who is relative to weaken Tom, which means they'd already be relative to each other in the final battle of No Way Home. Not to mention that Lizard can rip through metal, which was calculated to be 22 kilotons, with Andrew and TASM being able to contest with him as well.
Andrew Spider-Man was able to evade this new version of Lizard for a decent period of time, before he was pinned under Connors whilst not even trying to fight, where Andrew eventually overwhelmed Connors and webbed him up, which is pretty impressive, especially when compared to Tom Holland's interactions with Connors, since at the condo he was able to catch him off guard and fold him with ease, and at the final battle, well, MCU Peter was little more than an annoyance to Connors.
I let
Notice how Tom is already weakened and has broken bones.
I think I broke my ribs.
Even then, his hits still affect Lizard, just like Andrew's. On top of that, Tom has been fighting for much longer than Andrew with broken. Yeah, he's been fighting for longer than Andrew with broken ribs, and also being off guard wouldn't really change anything. It's just that Lizard wasn't prepared to take the damage, but he's still visibly harmed. He's still visibly harmed by it. If anything, his kicks temporarily put Lizard down, while Andrews haven't shown anything on that level. The most Andrew does is knock him back, but Tom clearly lays him out for a bit.
Andrew Spider-Man did very well, getting in several hits, taking a barrage of attacks from a pissed-off Electro, and eventually he was able to fully defeat Max with a bit of help from Gwen Stacy. Compare this to MCU Peter's first encounter with Electro, where a single lightning blast was able to have Peter on his ass, so much so that Sandman had to save him, with it being
I find it a bit funny how people forget that Elektra's been charging up from sunset to nearly dawn when Peter shows up, before Peter shows up, along with the energy from the MCU being stated to be better than in the TASM universe, so it's safe to say that Elektra was more powerful than he was in No Way Home. No, more powerful than he was in TASM.
Looking at Electro once he gets his hands on the arc reactor, well, all three Spider-Men are significantly weaker than him. However, it is apparent that Andrew performs the best of all three of them. We see that individual blasts of Electro's lightning at this point in the film can knock down MCU Peter for a long-ass time. Compare that to Andrew's Peter, where he was tortured by Electro in that fight for a long-ass time. And after enduring much more electricity than the other two, he was still able to recover better than Tobey's Spider-Man did, which is pretty impressive.
Tobey and Andrew were both stated to have potentially augmented their suits, with this being confirmed by how their suits in No Way Home deals with electricity better than in their previous films. So Andrew would already have electricity resistant while Tom doesn't. And again, Tom has broken ribs while Andrew's at his peak, so would it make sense to compare them based off that?
Andrew's Spider-Man doesn't have Stark Tech in his suit, and we see in the first Avengers just how much of a difference this makes when dealing with lightning attacks. Basically meaning that Tom's suit was armored, and yet he still performed worse than Andrew, confirming that Andrew, when it comes to electric-based attacks at least, is more durable than Tom's Spider-Man.
Serious? What? His suit literally gets fried. It's very clearly burnt, and nothing suggests that it has electricity resistance. It's just that it takes lightning from Thor, but still, he can still use it, but it's still very clearly damaged and burnt. So it doesn't really make sense to claim that Tom has some sort of electricity resistance because he has a very small amount of Iron Spider. A very small amount of the Iron Spider suit on him.
And from there, when we talk about speed, well, I would once again give the point to Andrew's Spider-Man. Whilst all three of them are pretty relative to each other, since all three Spider-Men are able to dodge Electro's lightning in No Way Home, Andrew has the best speed feats in his solo films, since he took things one step further by being able to statue this lightning altogether. And this is significantly more impressive than Tom's best speed feat, where he was able to fight dozens of drones with machine gun fire, especially since they did catch him off guard at times and landed him with bullets. Whereas in TASM 2, Andrew is able to almost effortlessly dodge these electric blasts even whilst mid-air.
Tom was already injured in his previous fight with Mysterio, and he didn't even get hit by any of the bullets in that fight, so he'd blatantly be faster than the Stark drones. And all three Spider-Men are relative to each other. They're all able to react to the same lightning, tag the same villains, dodge the same attacks from the same villains. If anything, Tobey and Andrew are stated to be equals, and Tom can keep up with them while he's injured, so his base self would be better than that. And Tom's best speed feat is reacting to lasers from Mysterio and from Vulture. Then another speed feat that puts him at faster than light is when he's in the astral plane and he's able to freely move. But in Doctor Strange 1, Doctor Strange was able to perceive lightning in the astral plane as moving in slow motion, with him needing to be at least 3 times faster than light to be able to do this. So he'd already be leagues above the speed of lightning, the speed of lightning, which is basically where Andrew would be in TASM 2.
On top of that, I would argue that he is the best at fighting out of all 3 of the Spider-Men, and that is because, well, he actually fights like a spider.
Being able to fight like a spider isn't a good metric to say that someone is a better fighter than someone else. So it's very weird to say that. And Andrew also doesn't have any strictly hand-to-hand fights like Tom does. He mainly uses his webs to fight his opponents. So it doesn't really make sense to make that claim.
When discussing who has the better spider sense, I think that easily goes to Andrew, because it's been able to allow him to dodge much more impressive attacks than Tom's has. And whilst Tom's sense gives him the ability to see through illusions, that's not going to help him very well against Andrew here.
Tom's spider sense is easily better because not only can he fight with his eyes closed, but his spider sense is even able to allow him to move while he's physically separated from his body. So Andrew doesn't really have anything on that. All he has is something that warns him of where danger is coming from. That's basically it.
What will help MCU Peter, however, is his Stark suit as well as his web shooters. Whilst Andrew's webbing is stronger than Tom's since it was able to restrain Lizard for a long ass time, the amount of versatility that Tom has is undisputable. I mean, in Tom's suit, he has over 500 combinations for his web shooters, including things such as taser webs, rapid fire webs, splitter webs, web grenades, you name it, he's got it.
Tom was already shown to hold off peak Lizard because Lizard was stronger every second.
I'm getting stronger every day!
And he did this while injured in the final battle. His webs would be on par if not relative to this because they're able to endure the force of him pulling on them. And his suit was already made out of his webs, so they'd scale to everything he's been through. Tom in No Way Home only has one form of webs, which is, the normal ones. But in Homecoming he had over 500. But those ones are never seen again after Homecoming, and his Far From Home suit only has 2 web varieties, the normal ones and the taser webs.
And this would be a hell of a lot closer than Toby versus Tom, but who do I think wins overall? Well, that's a little complicated. For one, I think that both of these guys should be fast enough to dodge each other's webbing. I mean, they've both been able to dodge Electro's lightning, so I think they should be fine in that regard.
Why mention them reacting to the same lightning when your whole video makes it seem that Andrew's faster than Tom because, according to you, Tom's best speed feat is dodging bullets. So with everything you've presented, it would be dodging lightning and not dodging bullets, meaning that they've been relative the whole time, but you just decided to downplay Tom. That's the video. I don't really have a script for this, so I might go off track or repeat myself. Yeah, I don't mean any hate to this guy. I didn't like his reasoning and most of the things he said in his video, so I decided to, to debunk that. But my next video it's not going to be debunking video, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be a slander video for Toby and Spectacular Spider-Man and why I hate them and why I think they are terrible adaptations. So I'll probably start making the script today, but I have work to do and assignments, so that might not come out in 3 months. I'm joking, I'll probably do it like in a week, I think. But yeah, it's been fun debunking this guy, and thank you for all the support. Thank you for everyone who sent me their memes on Discord. And I'll see you guys, hopefully it's less than a week's time, but yeah. Thanks for watching the video and bye.